Hey everyone, welcome back. Ever glance out a train window and wonder who's making sure all those cars end up in the right spot?
It's a question I've pondered a time or two myself.
Well, get ready to dive deep because today we're tackling real switch persons.
And trust me, it's more intense than it sounds.
Way more. Our main guide this time is RoleCatcher. They're all about making job hunting, well, less disastrous.
Less train wrecky, you could say. And they've got some seriously insightful stuff.
Right. You don't usually think people skills when you picture railroads.
Not at all. But RoleCatcher really emphasized that, even had this story, a near-miss derailment, all because of one miscommunication.
Oh, wow. Okay, suddenly the stakes are way higher.
Absolutely crucial, the human element.
So for those of us picturing like one giant lever, what does a real switch person actually do daily?
Think of it like air traffic control, but with trains, some of them a mile long.
No way.
Yeah, it's in the guide. Their whole thing is making sure all those cars get where they need to safely and on time, using switches and signals, taking instructions from the rail traffic controller.
So it's like high stakes Tetris, but with tons of steel hurtling around.
Exactly. And that's where the problem solving kicks in.
I think fast.
RoleCatcher had this great example. Senior rail switch person, storm takes out a signal. Total chaos.
Oh no.
Had to think on the spot, working with the controllers, the train operators, rerouting everything while making sure nothing derailed, literally.
Talk about pressure. And the guide was big on everything being by the book. What kind of rules are we talking?
Oh, it's strict. Speed limits within the rail yards, how to couple and uncouple cars safely, even specific hand signals to talk to the engineers.
Wow, it's like its own language.
It is, because one mistake has huge consequences. It's all about minimizing risk.
Makes you realize a behind-the-scenes job, but a huge responsibility.
Totally. And RoleCatcher nailed that. It's not just following orders, it's judgment calls, anticipating problems, keeping the whole system running.
So we've got this picture, part rule follower, part quick thinker, part communication pro.
And then some.
But to even get started, what skills and qualifications do you need?
It's a wild mix. Hard skills, soft skills.
Like what?
Well, on the technical side, gotta know those giant switches, the ins and outs of railway signaling, which is a whole language.
I bet.
And be fluent in rail traffic control procedures. It's a lot to keep track of.
Sounds intense. And those soft skills you mentioned, I wouldn't have thought they'd be so crucial for this.
But when you think about it, you're coordinating constantly. Conductors, engineers, the yard master, all while juggling trains and stuff.
It's like a hidden superpower. So for anyone listening thinking, this is it, my calling, what's the career path look like? Room for growth.
Good news there. Clear trajectory. RoleCatcher's career stages section laid it all out. Entry level to senior positions with more and more responsibility.
I like how they gave those little snapshots. A typical day at each level helps you picture it.
Right. So you might start as a switch tender, operating switches in one area of the yard, then with experience, become a switchman, bigger section of track, coordinating multiple trains.
So you're moving up the ranks within the yard.
Exactly. And that's not even specialization yet. Some become signaling experts, hazardous materials, you name it.
Oh, right. The guide mentioned some even go on to be train dispatchers, rail operations managers.
Exactly. It's not a dead end at all. You can specialize, go into management, even transition to a related field within the rail industry.
Lots of options. Okay, so say someone's sold, ready to prep for those interviews. Your RoleCatcher had good stuff for that too, right?
Amazing stuff. Their interview prep is like a cheat code. It's got this database, practice questions, all about being a rail switch person.
They really make you think on your feet.
Yeah.
I saw one that was like, how would you respond if you saw a coworker violating safety procedures? Tough one.
Oh, yeah. And that's where RoleCatcher goes beyond just the usual, like, canned answers.
Right, right.
They want you to get what interviewers are really looking for, you know? Like, with that question, maybe it's showing you can handle conflict professionally, or that safety's your top priority no matter what.
Because they're giving you the inside scoop to totally nail it. And for those who want to go even further, they've got those AI-powered tools too, right?
Don't forget those. Imagine getting feedback on your answers, but it's from an AI that's seen thousands of successful interviews.
Whoa.
It can be like, hey, maybe elaborate on this skill more, or your body language could use some work, that kind of thing.
That's wild. Like a personal coach, but in your pocket.
Pretty much.
And you know what's cool? Even if someone's not going to run off and apply to be a rail switch person, this stuff's helpful for any interview.
Oh, absolutely. Clear communication, problem solving, staying cool under pressure, those are universal.
Like a crash course in selling yourself no matter what you want to do.
Exactly.
Sure.
Showcasing those transferable skills, that's key.
Well, As we wrap up here, gotta say, I am blown away by how complex, how important, and how overlooked the role of a rail switch person is.
Right. The unsung heroes.
Totally. Keeping everything moving smoothly and safely. And as we think about the future of transportation, the role's only going to get bigger.
No doubt about it.
Makes you think about all those behind-the-scenes jobs that we rely on without even realizing it.
So true. And so often it's that mix, technical know-how, problem solving, and that human touch.
That's what I love about these deep dives,
Yeah.
that we uncover all that, the hidden stuff, and suddenly you got this whole new appreciation for it.
And who knows, maybe someone listening just found their next career path.
There you go. That's what we like to hear.
Gotta love it.
So for anyone who's feeling inspired, be sure to check the show notes. We'll have links to RoleCatcher, all the resources we talked about.
Don't miss out.
And until next time, keep those wheels turning.